Tom Curran earlier this week on Jones and Keefe. You can catch him today on WEEI Afternoons. Is trading Rhamondre Stevenson worth it for a 4th or 5th round pick?
I wouldn't. I'm down on him like everybody else because of the fumbles, but he's still a pretty good player. And even if you like the running back class, which Tom pointed out there, like the draft isn't a particularly strong one overall. But if you like the running backs, add a running back. That's fine. Right. Add him with Rhamondre. Like plenty of Saquon Barkley is such. Saquon and Derrick Henry are kind of their own thing. Everybody else, like, look how good the Detroit guys were, and they were splitting carries and everything else. So if you want to do something like that, I'm all for adding somebody. I don't think a 5th-round pick for Rhamondre makes sense for me.
So I don't think that's worth it either, to be honest. And you can say, oh, well, his contract isn't worth it. They have so much cap space. They actually have more cap space than we even realized.
They are the Scrooge McDuck meme.
With the NFL announcing yesterday that the salary cap is going up, and the Patriots actually have even more space, but that means other teams have more space as well.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine that's great news for the Patriots. You would think the cap going up is good. They already had the most cap space. All this is doing is giving other teams more wiggle room to extend on players already on their roster if they were thinking about cutting them, or in a signing, everybody has a little more money to play around with. I think that's a bad thing for the Patriots.
I guess it just depends on how down Vrabel and McDaniels are on Rhamondre. So I don't know if maybe Tom Curran's heard wind of that, like those guys don't trust him with the ball kind of thing.
I agree with you on this. I think it's a reflection of some of the guys Wolf paid a year ago, and this is more evidence of what Reese was talking about. It was just one minor release of Taki, a linebacker that honestly no one probably even remembers.
No.
But Reese says this is evidence of Vrabel putting his fingerprints all over the roster decision and having juice with the roster. Trading Rhamondre when Elliott Wolf just paid him last year.
Yeah.
Trading Godchow. Maybe that isn't as much of a reflection on Wolf, but Curran also brought up Barmore.
Yeah.
Those are all names he brought up, and like if you're moving on from any of those guys, that is Vrabel coming in and taking over.
Because it's all guys that Bill brought in, and then for the most part, guys that Elliott re-signed. So it's like a real departure from both previous regimes. I just feel like this team has so many needs, and they might still need a running back with Rhamondre. So if you ship him out, like now you need 2. And for a 5th-round pick, like I don't know if you're necessarily going to replace that, or at least the guy that you're confident in the 5th round to be a plug-and-play. So it just adds to your like insanely long list of needs.
Yeah, I don't know if I need a 4th or 5th round pick. Like extra picks, I guess, are always good.
Take it.
And if you were drafting a running back, do you need Rhamondre? And could you take the extra pick? Fine,
but
maybe.
Also, it's a bad draft, right? So the draft stinks in the 1st round, but we need more 5th-rounders for this year?
Good
like
point.
Maybe a future draft, maybe you feel better about.
And maybe the reason the running backs are pushing up the board is because it's a bad draft. So I was going to bring this up. Daniel Jeremiah, I like his draft work very much. Move the sticks.
First down.
He had his mock draft 2.0. We talked about it briefly yesterday. Will Campbell to the Patriots at 4.
Yeah.
But he had 3 backs in the 1st round. And he had Genty falling pretty far, like into the 20s far, or like high teens. Yeah, like most mock drafts you look at, Genty doesn't really fall past the Cowboys at 12.
I was going to say, I could definitely see him going top 12.
He has Ashton Genty, I forget if it was the high teens or the 20s. He has a name that Curran mentioned to us when he talked to us on Tuesday, Amarian Hampton from UNC. So I guess maybe some familiarity with Drake May, if that matters, in the 20s. And then Travion Henderson from Ohio State. He has all 3 in the 1st round.
I would take Genty. Like if I traded down, right? Obviously, none of those guys at 4.
Is there merit?
I wouldn't really want either of those other guys though in the 1st round.
That's fine. Yeah, and I think there are other there's 2 spots where the draft is pretty deep, and they're not traditional like premium positions, but it's D tackle, like the interior D line, and running back. So if you want to wait to get those guys, I think you can wait to get those guys.
I'll say both, and this is Bills. This is a different thing, but just. Maybe it's like as a Patriots fan, you look back. All right, the 2 times they drafted a running back in the 1st round, you got Lawrence Maroney and Sony Michel.
It's tough.
And then 2 of the D tackles after the original awesome run of Seymour, Wilfork, Warren, those guys. Since then, it was like Malcolm Brown, Dominique Easley, and you're like, oh, okay. Now, that doesn't mean you don't draft those positions. I'm just saying, like,
they really were the outliers at the time.
Yeah, they were, and that's just what I was thinking of. But
so, in a bad draft, we've talked a lot about would you move up and what it would cost to move up to number 1. We talked about that briefly yesterday. It's 1,200 points on the Jimmy Johnson trade chart, which means you're giving up your 2nd rounder this year and your 1st rounder next year just to move up 3 spots to number 1. In a bad draft, Keith, there are very few premium players. Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter are 2 of them.
Yeah.
Another guy who's viewed as like a premium player, but it's just not at a premium position, is Genty. Should we not rule out the Patriots could move down to 8, 10, accumulate assets, and get a player that you feel confident is going to hit, even if it's not at like a must-have premium position? Is there merit to the Patriots should move down and get a more sure thing in a guy like Genty and get more assets?
So I like that plan more than just the Jeremiah mock draft where they stay at 4 and pick Will Campbell.
Sure.
If you move down to 8 or 9 and you pick Genty and you pick up another pick, and then you can take a stab at best hoss available at that point, then I would do it. I think, to me, out of all the scenarios that are out there, the worst one is probably staying on the board at 4 and taking somebody other than Hunter or Carter. I also don't love the idea of trading up, even though you would get Hunter or Carter. I don't want to sacrifice all the picks that it would take to move up there. So as good as those players are, the Patriots need too much.
By the way, they're showing PK Subban on First Take right now. He's just holding up a Team USA jersey.
Put it on.
Like, yeah, seriously.
Why has he got a USA jersey though? That wouldn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, why? Actually,
he's
good
Canadian.
point. Yeah, why is he? I was about to say we're even more American than him, but right, he's not even American.
Canadian, and he played for Montreal.
Why was he holding up the Team USA jersey?
I don't know. That's the problem when you have it on mute. No clue. No clue what they're saying.
I'll tell you what. That actually,
I bet Stephen A. Smith's doing a good breakdown of this hockey game.
Canada might disown PK after that. Actually,
they're not going to
jersey.
No, they're not going to care for that.
Ay caramba. Text line, by the way. Speaking of that, text line says we shouldn't eat a bald eagle. Some would say that's the most American thing to do, even though it's illegal. F them laws. That's kind of an American thing
to do. That swings back to being too American.
Right. Somebody suggested we should eat a Canadian goose.
I'll eat a goose.
Killed by an eagle. I missed that.
Wow.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Perfect. Also, lots of Cam Scattaboo.
I was going to say that.
I was like, I assumed it was the same number. No. Multiple people are
different
saying Cam
numbers
Scattaboo.
on the text line.
All different numbers.
It's in the Twitch chat as well. Now, who knows? Those could be the same.
Dude, he
people
looked good.
But
guy's a player.
Here, you know what this is evidence of, Keith?
People watch the college football playoffs?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
One game.
People watch. No.
He had a good year.
Look, college football is not a thing here in New England. It probably never will be a thing. I enjoy it, but whatever. It won't be a thing. You can't make it a thing.
Yeah.
But the college football playoff got people to tune in to watch one game, and they all saw Cam Scattaboo.
Dude, Scattaboo's a beast.
That's what it tells you.
Yeah.
Because anytime we talk draft, specifically running back, we get texts like that or in the Twitch. It happens every time.
You think he'll be any good in the pros?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
I think he might be okay.
Okay. Oh, well, you said good.
No, I know.
Okay.
I altered. I answered it differently.
I would say he might be okay. You could convince me of that.
Dude, he had over 2,300 yards from scrimmage last year. Guy's a machine.
Yeah, that does not always translate.
24 tugs.
College production doesn't always translate.
Always. Every single time.
But you want to
talk
talk
like Troy Davis out of Iowa State back in the day?
You want to talk Cam Scattaboo? Go ahead. 617-779-7937. You want to talk about what we should eat for a victory party tonight. If you're watching on twitch.tv/Boston WEEI, no one more American than Keefe.
Cheeseburger and freedom fries.
Yeah. Bald Eagle Burger.
Sounds pretty good.
It's the most American thing. Chinese food.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Canadian goose.
Tacos.
Canadian goose poutine. Foie gras.
Canadian bacon is just essentially ham, right?
Yeah, I don't want that. It's not my. I mean, I'll eat it. It's not my favorite.
I don't want
I like
that.
bacon.
Yeah.
Canadian bacon's just
maple syrup.
Just ham. Maple syrup is.
Yeah. Just slop that on whatever. Give it some flapjacks. That's American. Flapjacks.
Well.
Taco Bell. Yeah. Taco Bell.
That's what we should do. We should go get Taco Bell after USA win.
Taco Bell.
Just load up the drive-thrus.
I do love Taco Bell.
Me too.
They had a Taco Bell not far from me in my town. They shut it down and they left the KFC open, and now no one goes.
Wow.
There used to be a line every night. There'd be like a line out the block for Taco Bell, and now it's only a KFC. They doubled the size of the KFC. Nobody goes.
Another reason the Patriots need Devontae Adams.
He's got a Taco Bell in his house.
Taco Bell in his house.
That's the worst thing that ever happened to us when they moved that Taco Bell.
Devontae will bring one back.